Here we go. It's Real 92.3, LA's new home for hip-hop. Real 103.9, Vegas is home for hip-hop and R&B. DJ E-Rock in the building. We are recording live from Culture Kings, Las Vegas. Today is a legendary day because we got not only an icon, but a legend in the building right now, man. Hey, yo, I'm a huge fan.
I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate this.
Oh, that's crazy.
I appreciate this like no other. You came to the store yesterday. And I didn't expect that, and then I was like, yo, man, would love to have you on the show.
That's love, man.
Make sure that, we give you your flowers,
That's love.
Slim from 112 is in the building.
Yes, sir.
Man, my brother.
Man, that's all love, man.
All love, man. Yo, I mean, you used to live out here for a little bit.
Yeah.
Right?
I was out here in Henderson.
So you've seen this town, expand.
Oh, I'm going to tell you something right now. What in the world happened?
I
leave, I come back. Yo, it's crazy. It's totally different. Now I'm saying F1, you know what I'm saying? All this stuff, so much crazy stuff. It was no traffic. You could just go in and out, and there was no problem.
Let me tell you about the traffic right now. I was a little late. I ain't gonna lie, I broke a sweat getting here. You know what I mean? Gino was calling me. Shout out Gino. Shout out Franzen for making this happen. Gino in the studio right now. My big brother.
Yes, sir.
I was telling Gino, I was like, man, I'm so sorry. I was apologizing the whole way, man. I was like, yo, this traffic is insanity.
It's crazy.
But yeah, it's because the town is just there's so many things that are coming to Vegas. It's they need to make room for everything. So in its current state, it's it's not going to work 5-10 years from now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. That's crazy. You know what? That's the same way how we feel in Atlanta. Everybody's moving to Atlanta. And at first, it used to be just one big green forest. We had our spots, and then it was a lot of greenery. Now, man, everywhere you look, there's a subdivision or condos. Everything, is starting to turn into baby New York.
Yeah,
some
man.
Prices too.
Can I tell you this? I've never, ever really have spent any time outside of the airport when it comes to Atlanta. I've never been to anywhere and I got a lot of friends in Atlanta.
Man, you got to pull up, man. It's so much stuff going on every day. So our city is starting to become the city that don't sleep. You know what I'm saying?
I like cities like that.
Yeah. Hey, we don't have the casinos yet, but you know what I'm saying. But we have some things going on. From the culture. Just to the music, the scene, we the shopping and stuff. It's so much stuff, and you can go to different eras, and it feels like you're in different countries.
Mm-hmm.
So, man,
I do have to come to Atlanta. I mean, what would be some things that I need to experience before leaving and getting back on the plane to Vegas? What are top 3 things that I have to do in Atlanta?
Top 3 things, I would say, food. Night scene, and this one's hard. If I had to pick one out of the blue,
what's the third must-have, must-to-do? What do we got to do before I get up on a plane to Vegas? We said food. We said the nightlife.
And nightlife, and then I would probably just say just shopping. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and we also have this is our history, or I say culture. So everybody understands. My culture. So everybody knows where Martin Luther King, great Martin Luther King, family, and we have so much culture within Atlanta. You know what I mean? And it's just you can't help but go inside communities, and then you'll see little statues or little things where you can just read, and you'll be like, wow, so this how this was brought up, or this house right here was built in the 1700s, 1800s.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so I'm into Airbnb. One of my Airbnbs, it was built in 1864.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
Wow, is it tough maintaining that, or, I mean?
Well, not. You know what? I mean, because in my situation, I rebuilt them.
Okay.
So, in one of those houses, knocked into the walls and found an actual newspaper, and it's the 8.
You found an 1860.
I have it.
A year of 1860 newspaper.
Yes.
Inside of the wall.
Yes.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. It was crazy, but it was very fun doing it. So that's like one of my, I guess like it's like hobbies, but residuals.
Yeah.
And so yeah, man. I just love like taking something old. People look at it and be like, I don't know, Slim. And then once you rebuild it, it's like, oh wow, Slim.
Yo, we should talk about. I mean, you mentioned residuals, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. Like on how the longevity aspect of this music game.
Oh,
you know what I mean, and how people could be smarter with their money and whatnot. I think that's something that we could definitely share with people.
Oh
sure.
Yeah, yes.
But since we're on the subject of Atlanta, recently Drake was on Twitter, or at one of his the Atlanta show.
Yeah.
But I seen it on Twitter, and he mentioned that Atlanta is extremely important to the infrastructure of hip hop and R&B. And why is that?
Very true. Well, a lot of the cultures of hip hop, like it comes through Atlanta. Like, so if you see what's going on now, look at what's going on now.
Mm-hmm.
We have a chokehold, especially on the hip hop side of it.
Oh yeah, and it's never left.
It's never left.
When y'all got it, it's like, yo, this is ours.
If you rewind it back, so you have to go all the way back. I'm from the era with Outkast and Goody Mob. You know what I'm saying? And like, and we had even our like underground. You know what I mean? Like, we had the Kilo. Kilos and Sammy Sam and man, I mean, see, my mind's going crazy. Or Raheem the Dream. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it was records that, if you were, in Atlanta, you know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. And it's just that, a lot of talent, so much talent, and it's different forms of talent is from there. Like, so I'm going to tell you something. When 112 was coming up, right, it was the whole thing of the era of the talent shows. So when we were in high school, our talent shows were like concerts.
Wow.
Most of the people that are out right now, and they know, if they're out right now and they're in my era, we were all in high school doing talent shows. Everybody.
How many people would be at these talent shows?
It was packed. It was just like a real concert. So so we would go to certain schools. Like, I remember going to Tri-Cities, and that Escape was there. I was there at the talent show. Well, we won it, but Dre and Big Boy rapped against each other.
Wow.
Yeah, like they're like, it's certain people.
So they battle rapped.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Who won that battle? Wow.
I think they probably.
We just know what happened after. It was that like, yo, they became obviously outcasts, and there it is.
Oh, no.
They became outcasts, and then like, yo, like, here's that. I mean, that was it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The rest is history.
Yeah. So it was a lot of that. You go to one school. I remember one. Yeah, Columbia High School. We won that one too. NDIRE was there. Chris Tucker was hosting it.
Wow.
This is like crazy.
That's wild.
You know what I'm saying? Like in the situations, Bobby V was in the group. Man, if I can just scan like through my mind, like if y'all could see what's in my head, which I'm thinking about doing a biopic about something like this. But I remember just a lot of things, and it definitely has a lot to do with the culture of Atlanta and how it influences.
I know, I believe it, man. I feel like R&B today is seeing this like real big, massive resurgence right now, especially the nostalgic classic stuff, like the 112 era.
Yes.
I mean, would you say that that's true? I mean, is that?
Oh yeah. I definitely have to give it, and you know what? And I want to give big shouts out to the R&B females, the women, the queens of R&B right now, who's definitely putting it down.
Mm-hmm.
So I go for all the way from the Summer Walkers to, the SZAs to, Queen Naijas to, I might keep going on and on. It's just like they have the feel. It's a feel of, you could tell that they listen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then they definitely, they see that they'll say, okay, well, how do I interpret it? You know what I'm saying? And it comes raw and it's real. You know what I'm saying? And so I love that. I love that. So now The only thing, if I could just offer, you know what I'm saying, something, you know, this coming from an OG, we need to get back into groups.
That's true.
Now, I do understand
I grew up being a fan of groups like yours,
you know what I'm saying?
New Edition.
Yeah, and that's what we looked after. And, you know, and it's just like, it starts with the mind frame, though. You know, in the era that we're in right now, everybody's kind of like for self. Everybody's like me, they trying to think. And in our world, you know what I'm saying, it was more of, you know, we looked at a lot of things like the cultures, even sports. You know, you had Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan can score 100 points if he wanted to, but took the team, you know what I'm saying, the actual team to make it, you know what I'm saying, make it to the, you know what I'm saying, championship, the finals, and then over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that the mindset needs to change, and, you know, we're missing a lot of amazing, and I know it's a lot of amazing talent and camaraderie and working together and watching each other, you know what I'm saying? And it's like a lot of love.
Nah, for sure. Let me ask you this, because, like, you know, during the time where, like, everything was at its peak, it was like, you know, we were experiencing this big explosion of obviously groups like yours, 112, Drew Hill, what else? Next, Jagged Edge.
Yeah.
I mean, it had to be a very competitive landscape back then at some point. Even though we're talking about us, like, you know, banding together and being one rising tide, because that brings up all ships.
Yeah.
But back then, it had to be just like, you know, really competitive.
Oh yeah, and but that's the good thing about it. You can have I would say, you know, it's like you're gonna have a competitiveness. Everybody believes if you go to anybody and they say, whose side is this? Whose side is the best? They're gonna always say that my side is the best. And that's the same thing as far as groups are concerned. But we definitely have an amazing and mutual respect for each other, and we understand what we brought to the, you know what I'm saying, to the game. Like us with Jagged Edge, where people think people thought that we were so against each other, but in actuality, we knew each other before record deals. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, you know, of course, you ask if you go to Jagged Edge and ask who's the best group, if they say anybody other than Jagged Edge, I'm going to question you were talking to somebody from Jagged Edge. You know what I'm saying? That would be anybody, any group. You know what I'm saying? We feel the same way. But, you know, of course, you know, with that, it just came beautiful music. And, you know what I mean? And pushing the scale, you know what I'm saying? Pushing that envelope, music to the next level. So, man, amazing time.
That had to be an incredible time. And especially, like, you know, during the whole entire Bad Boy era and stuff. Just like, you know, being around, like I mean, you guys were literally like putting R&B on and everything that you were a part of, literally brick by brick, and to see it where it's at today, it's a beautiful thing. You're performing at Ghost Bar.
Yep.
Today.
That's crazy.
The R&B party.
Yeah, man, it's about to be an amazing situation. I'm still trying to get over. And you would think after 27 or 28 years of doing this, you know, pull up, I'm with Gino. You pull up, you know what I'm saying, and see my name and, you know, the whole thing across the whole building. Just, it still feels like day one. You know what I'm saying? So I can't wait. To go over it. You know, I just looked at the pictures, and I ain't up front. Usually, you know, people will reach out to me and be like, hey, we want you to come. Man, well, these guys,
they're
family to me.
They're my big brothers.
Yeah. And it's the family too, so y'all already know what time it is. Y'all know what I'm talking about, Twitch. And you know what I'm saying? I was looking at the pics, and I was like, yo, this is R&B, baby. I hit, hey, man, I need to be on this. Let's figure this out. You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, okay. I crossed my fingers like, okay, is it going to be on the weekend? Because I'm usually working from Thursday to Sunday. And then Gino was like, Wednesday. Yo, you for real? Let's make this pop. So I'm here.
And it's going to pop tonight. A lot of people
crazy.
Talking about it.
Yeah, man.
You know?
They hitting me up all crazy. I'm celebrating my birthday. So shout out to all the Libras out there. You know, so I just want to see all the flyest ladies, all the players out there. This Vegas, baby. Let's go. And, you know, we're definitely gonna enjoy an amazing era of R&B. I don't even know which song.
Yeah, I was about to ask that next. Which songs can we expect? That's gonna be like literally performed for us. Like,
but you know what?
You're doing Cupid for sure.
No, I'm gonna do Cupid.
You're gonna do Cupid
because I know I don't think I'm gonna be able to leave off the 55th. I might be flying off the 55th floor. You know what I'm saying? If I don't sing it. So, but it's definitely gonna be some classics, and you know what I'm saying. We're gonna have a good time.
For sure. Now, I always turn, like, the interview to, like, the listeners that I tweeted out, like, yo, I'm sitting down with Slim. Is there anything that y'all want to know? And, there's some questions that, like, I'm like, all right, maybe I'll ask that. Some questions like, yeah, we probably not going to talk about that. But I think the big thing was, like, people will, the fans want to know, will there ever be, like, a 112 reunion ever?
Oh, well, I mean, I put all that in God's hands, but, I would say this, just like any of the groups that I've always adored. First of all, I'm trying to think of a group, iconic group that didn't have breakups or or situations or whatever. I'm still trying.
Nah, I don't think you can.
I can't think of it.
I don't think you can.
So 112. I mean, if that's a signal of being inducted in the Hall of Fame and and in the Walk of Fame. That might be a good thing, you know what I'm saying? But
it happens to the best of them. And that fits in that whole entire context.
Oh yeah, but I would say it like this. There definitely things behind the scenes that definitely need to be handled. You know what I'm saying? Like unfinished business, and then you know what I'm saying. And for my thing, certain things for certain reconciliations, whether you work together or not, because this is a business. This is not a hobby. But certain things, you know what I'm saying, like. If you want any form of reconciliation, has to be some form of accountability.
Preach.
Yes, sir.
No, amen right there. Another listener had asked me, like, they said that I read the other day that Diddy had reassigned publishing rights to artists that were signed to Bad Boy, including 112. Can he expand about that whole ordeal? Exactly what does that mean?
Okay, so everybody's situation was different.
Mm-hmm.
Slim, I acquired my publishing years ago, 2015. So I don't know how their situation is set up. I'm probably the old school. So, what I mean? When I came out, there was no, Google came out in 98. 112's first project came out in 96. So a lot of things, our situations are totally different. You know what I mean?
For sure.
There was a situation that happened some years ago that said that any music that came out before 2000, giving back. Then, because, I'm a little savvy. You know what I'm saying?
You're very savvy. You're still here today.
Yeah.
That that's a testament,
So one thing I would tell everybody to understand your contracts, and publishing is a big part of it. So I understood that, if when you re-up your publishing deals, it also turns the clock back. It starts the clock back over. You know what I'm saying? So what I did was, after 2003, I never did another publishing deal. So in 2015, I got my publishing back. So and he made sure I made sure everybody would be, you know what I'm saying? Make sure they got. So our situations. So as far as I think the streaming aspect of it.
Yeah, because streaming wasn't around back then.
The streaming wasn't around in that situation, but it seemed like they make their own deal, make their own rules or whatever. But whatever that situation is or whatever, I think it's cute. You know what I'm saying? We do get, certain things like soundage change or stuff like that or whatever, you know what I'm saying, which is an amazing thing. It's like that to me. It's like the sprinkles and cherries on a already on a amazing banana split.
Residuals.
So it's residuals.
Yeah.
My thing is, I would say it like this: deals, pub deals, and stuff like that are like loans. So instead of getting that right there, I would rather. So I'm a writer also, you know what I'm saying? We've written for everybody. New Edition, Isley Brothers, whatever.
Yeah.
So instead of, getting a loan for that situation, I'd rather get a business loan and buy a street, and you know what I'm saying, and I get better residuals and over time, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So like for me, my mindset is totally different. So don't be surprised of why all my situations are already in order. And I think every artist, you know what I'm saying, for older artists, maybe their situation wasn't like that or whatever. But I would encourage all the new artists, understand, you know what I'm saying, what your deals are. And the fact that now, see, we didn't have social media. We didn't have none of that.
Man, yeah.
Man, can you imagine? I'm from Cleveland Avenue, same area as Thugger, and you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And, you know, man, all we saw was you look on the radio. Man, how do you get on radio? And how would I come to KMEL to even see you as an intern? Or, you know what I'm saying? How I met everybody. Like,
Man.
hey, man, look, I brought it back then.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. See, they don't think I pay attention to the OG.
That's some OG shit right
You know
there.
what I'm
There you
saying?
go.
But, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how we're going to get there. But now, people now, like, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars a day to record. People are, you know what I'm saying, making their beats and stuff in the basement, and they're becoming overnight stars. Now you got TikTok and what's all this other stuff? I mean, it's just like other
Shorts, reels.
so much. It's so many
man.
ways of, you know what I mean, you know, putting your stuff out, and, you know, you being more hands-on, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how the deals are made anyway. They want you to put in as much work as possible. Then you get to a certain level. Then the labels come in and say, you know what? We believed in you all along. Oh, but you know what I'm saying? You know, I that's why I say,
For sure.
know your stuff, do your own stuff, and then, you know what I'm saying, network and get a part of the community. Know your DJ.
Let me ask you this. You know, being the OG that you are, how do you feel about today's musical climate in general? Because, you know, and I mentioned this on other episodes of this podcast where it's like, you know, so many records come out every year, but none of these records are charting like how they did back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, what's the word of advice that you can give these artists today? Like, yo, man, like yo, we got to do better. You know what I mean?
That's what I was saying. That's why I was saying, like, when you think of it as a business,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And when I say a business, think all the way a business, even to who you are. Trademark your names. You know what I'm saying? You're a walking brand. Feel me? If you don't, somebody else will. Trust me. So
Damn.
I would say, because when I listen to the music, they're all amazing. Like, you know, it's like a different style, and it's different. It's different, but it's still amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I would just say, you know, just think of yourself as a walking business. Know what type of artist you are. You know, like, we never had the bundles. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Expand on bundles.
when I say bundles, like, this day and age, well, let me just say like this. When we came out, to sell 1 million records, we had to sell 1 million copies. But then we had tapes, and then you had CDs. So you had actual thing, you know what I'm saying, actual stuff that you can buy, right?
Mm-hmm.
We used to look on the back of them bad boys every, like, on Tuesdays and be like, oh, man, who's on here? Who wrote this? You know what I'm saying? That used to be our joint, right? This day and age, you know, I look at my cars, there's nothing to plug, nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's, you know, it's off of phones.
Digital.
You know what I'm saying? It's digital. So everything's streamed and all that stuff. Well, so I guess it's harder to make those type of sales, like real sales. What is 1 million for real? You know what I'm saying? Might be, what is it? This is 300,000 actually, and then you got to sell it this and how many more spins, and they look at,
it's a whole complicated thing. I feel like a lot of artists get lost in that too. Like,
Yeah.
they don't understand it, you know, but
yeah.
it's important for them to understand.
But they have to understand it and know which platform pays what. Like, I hate to say, I don't. Well, you know what? YouTube pays a sixth of a penny per stream.
And I've seen that.
Whereas, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying? And then you had like somebody like Tidal. I remember when Jay-Z first popped out, it was like way more, like, but I think it was like 12 cents a stream, something like that. His joints was higher, and I ain't a front. I'm not trying to take a dig, but people used to pick at the 90 artists for, you know what I'm saying, crazy record deals. What you call that? A sixth of a penny per stream? 1,500 streams would equal one actual 1,500 for 1,500 times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. But, you know, I'm trying to figure it out, you know, like, and I try to speak. I talk to my sons about it. and they make me abreast of it. But I would definitely say, just know which. I look at the different apps and stuff, and I look at it for a lot of knowledge, right? So if I see, because that's the good part about it, knowledge. You can see where you're streamed at, where the traffic is. That's where I'm gonna take my money, and I'm gonna put that money towards that place. And then now I'm gonna work on my craft. Don't be one of those artists that sound cute in the basement, and then when it's time to actually put the mic in your hand, and amongst real people, and then you don't sound nowhere close to your craft, right?
Yeah.
Actually become a touring artist. Like, look at, I'm 27, 28 years in the game. 112 making anywhere between 50 to 75,000 a show. Now,
Dang.
so that and we stay big booked and busy. So I can understand some of these other artists that's making hundreds of thousands. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, if you want to get to that, which is real money, you know what I'm saying? Just know who you are as an artist, as a business, as a brand. Know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the A&R tell you who you are. Don't let them create you. You create the culture.
That's a bar right there. That's a gem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we can only get those from someone like yourself that's obviously veteran, OG. You know what I'm saying? So like this is a question that I wanted to ask you. If you could name the top 5 112 records of all time, what 5 would those be?
Based on whatever
it is, yeah. Not stats. Like like what you feel it is.
Okay.
Oh. It's a good one, right?
Yeah, that's a crazy one. 14 top 20s. Okay.
Woo!
I'm thinking. I'm okay. If I'm thinking about
top 5.
Top 5. I'm gonna start with Only You. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because that was our first one. You know what I'm saying? Because we still probably hold a lot a crazy record off of that. Like one of the biggest debuts, in the situation. Like, so Only You, definitely like the remix. That's what you had out of. So 2, I would say Cupid, because that's crazy. That was our 3rd single. That was our 3rd single, and they exploded our album.
Cupid was one of them ones. My God.
Yes.
I got a couple of heartbreak stories that go along with that.
That's crazy. I would say, I'm gonna say, It's Over Now. And I'm gonna say It's Over Now because we really show people exactly how to write over the, like, so we basically picked the hip hop artists. We love Mobb Deep. We loved them. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we were like the sample, so the Quiet Storm beat was like, wow, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now we were like, man, yeah, the hip hop artists, you know what I'm saying? Man, R&B got something to say too. So we went over that, boom, that smashed, and that was a #1 record.
So that's 3?
That's 3. I'm gonna say Peaches and Cream. Peaches and Cream is crazy because, we went totally to the left. Now notice none of the records sound any way like each other.
For sure,
And
yeah.
that was the thing that we always kind of, really put our thing in. You know what I'm saying? We didn't want none of our records to sound the same and whatever.
You know what's crazy about Peaches and Cream? I remember I was, what year did that come out again?
2001.
Yeah, 2001. But I remember I was playing it on the radio, and I remember someone called in. I was on the air, and someone called in and said, like, yo, do you know what they're talking about in that record? I was like, not really. And then that was how I found out what y'all were really talking about.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy because we had an $8 million Lifesaver deal.
Wow.
And just to say, one of the heirs little sung the bridge, and we didn't get the deal. You know what I'm saying? They were like, what song is that? Peaches and Cream. Huh? Yeah. Thanks a lot, Mike, for writing that bridge. You know what I'm saying? But and then I'll say 5. And that was, it's really hard. It's really hard to, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to say this record. I'm going to say I'll Be Missing You.
Yes.
I would say I'll be missing you, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying, that was another record that was #1 in the world.
Mm-hmm.
At one time, it hit. Everybody could relate to it. You know what I'm saying? You lost a loved one. It doesn't matter what class you were in, rich or poor, you know what I'm saying, from the north, south, east or west, everybody, it doesn't matter what part of the continent you're from. Everybody knows how it feels.
For sure. How does that feel, though, to have, like, records that fit every single situation in someone's life? Like, you can literally curate the soundtrack to someone's life from start to the end.
Mission accomplished. That's exactly what 112 what we were trying to do. Like, we just felt like when you look at all of the eras and you study all of the eras of music, each era, whoever got that, if you could talk, if you could say in a clever way, you know what I'm saying, how a person feels, and if you say it exactly how that person feels, doesn't matter what language it is, doesn't matter. Even if you didn't know what the words are, I remember just singing Cupid, and we were in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
They told us, don't talk, just sing the songs. They didn't understand English, but when they played the records, they sung every word bit by bit, like word for word.
It's a beautiful thing.
So that was an amazing situation.
Yeah,
so
that's a beautiful thing right there. Before we're out of here, man, what would be your vision of R&B or music in general? Like, where do you see, or what would you like to see happen in music in the next 5 to 10 years? I think you touched upon this earlier. Like,
oh yeah,
that's it.
You know, I definitely want to put that back out there. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, this is Slim from 112. You know what I mean? And I stand hard for groups and togetherness, and you know what I'm saying. And it's just the art form of multiple people from wherever coming together to making one sound, say one voice, making a statement all together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you think of all of the, you know what I'm saying, when you look at the groups, and you know what I'm saying, whether it's hip hop or R&B, it just felt stronger. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter where we're from. Like, you know what I'm saying? I remember being from the South. You know what I'm saying? Just sitting from the South, and I would look at, and I remember when NWA had came out.
I tricked my father, God rest his soul, to buy me that tape.
Oh, how in the world?
Oh man!
Oh,
like hey, he had no idea. He just he walked in on me, whooped my ass. I was listening to a bitch is a witch.
I was like, yeah, I take the whipping. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I took the whooping.
Yeah, I take the whipping. But it was just one thing about that. It was just like, it was how they said that stuff, but it was also everything else with the culture. The Raider hats, how they wore their clothes, you know what I'm saying? The shades, you know what I'm saying? Like easy hair out, like, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, you know, it was an era where, you know what I'm saying, you wanted to be them. New Edition. I wanted to be Ralph Trash Band.
I wanted to be Ralph Trash Band.
Yeah. Hey, man, I told Ralph I wanted to be him. He said, good Lord, man, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that right there, that's what I do it for. Like, I do it for the culture. Like, so when you look at, like, let's say It's Over Now. That's why I said It's Over Now. We introduced the pan leather, the Jordans, the black with the, you know what I'm saying, the black pan leather with the white, you know what I'm saying, the pan.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying, like, we, you know, a lot of people would say that. They were like, one thing about 112, like the clothes, you know what I'm saying, the Vans and leather jackets, you know what I'm saying, the Supreme joints, you know what I'm saying, like, it was like, when you saw it, it was like the video itself should be like, welcome to our world. You're in the time machine. You knew when you saw that and you were listening to the words, you knew what time it was, who you were with, what you was doing, or what you were supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? But it's an amazing time, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I do it for. So I would love to see groups. Like, you mean to tell?
I would love to see groups too, though.
I got more excited to see the Migos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember like coming to one of their shows, and one of them, and you know, and they introduced themselves as the greatest group in the world. Like,
it would definitely like.
and you know what? You know what I'm saying? And I just sat there like, you know what? Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and they from ATL, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Big shout out to them boys too, you know what I'm saying? That's North Atlanta, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So, you know, but that's what it's about. That's what, if I can see that.
I like that. That's right. Slim from 112 in the building, live here, Culture Kings, Las Vegas. It's Real 92.3. It's Real 103.9. Between takes. Big shout out to everyone that made it to the end of this video. Yo, this video was amazing. I mean, this conversation definitely, like, yo, this is a full circle moment for me.
Yeah, man.
Full circle moment. Quick, before, you know what? Let me tell you this. I got a story about I'll tell you, my favorite 112 record is, I would say it's Anywhere.
Oh, wow.
Anywhere. That was one of my favorite records ever. I used to be like a simp growing up. Gino could tell you, man. I was like the kid running around the radio station, always heartbroken, in love, something like that. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, like, but like I've got some stories I can't tell anymore. Like, you know, to that record. But that's probably my favorite one. And at the same time, like, when that record hit, and you, like, in college, I remember when that record was playing in one of the homies' rooms, you knew not to knock on.
You already know what's up.
You already know what's up.
Yeah, man.
That first that first hit, down.
And then, you know, what we used to do was we used to run interludes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know people be like, oh, we the king of interludes. Well, what we were doing was we knew what that song was about to do. Trust me, we knew what was happening.
Oh,
so people would say,
it was happening.
Yeah, you feel me?
It was happening.
Now, I ain't gonna front. Like, everybody used to say, hey, you doing it for the ladies? Yeah, we did do it for the ladies. But we also did it for the guys that were like me, didn't like to talk. You know what I'm saying? It was like, guy like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You might not have the right words to say, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna stick that record, I'm gonna stick that bad boy in, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit pray. And then you just look at it, you can look at shorty, be like,
yo, yeah, that is a record that literally you put on, you ain't gotta talk, you know what time it is.
And you notice, like, we never did songs that got us in trouble.
Oh, that record got me in trouble.
But no. That's good trouble. I'm talking about
how me in trouble.
That's a good trouble. Now I'm talking about, like, you listening to the record and you in the car. I mean, just imagine you in the ride is 3-4 hours. Let's say you ride from LA to Vegas to LA.
Mm-hmm.
You put in a 112 record. What we're not gonna do is have your significant other on the other side looking at you, listening to this record, and then all of a sudden you singing about some stuff. And then she thinking about all the stuff, you from pissed off. And then before you know it, you back in the doghouse before you even got to.
You got a soundtrack for every moment in somebody's life, whether look, man, we can go on for days, man. But yeah, man, hey, 112 music, your voice, your role in R&B, and I tell you right now, like, me growing up at that time, like, yo, in the 90s, the late 90s, that was like, you know, the era that meant the world to me, you know what I mean? So whenever I hear your records today,
oh yeah,
I'm like, yo, it takes me back to a place like, man, I didn't have shit to worry about back then.
Wasn't it amazing?
Nah.
All we wanted y'all to do is dance and just have a good time. You, like, whatever was going on in the world, whatever was going on, when you go to the, you know what I'm saying, the clubs or whatever, and that's the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? I got this saying called DJs make the world go round. Because without the DJs,
appreciate that.
That's love. DJs make the world go round, because without DJs, there wouldn't be nobody. What? Like, how? You know what I mean? So y'all were our amplifiers. So, you know, we will always have the DJ situation. So big shout out to all the coalition, all the DJs, all the coalition situation, from Tony Neal coalition DJ, all of them. Everybody is, you know what I'm saying? Everybody on the West Coast. I usually have them all in the back of my head. Technicians, yeah.
Shadyville, what others there? Bum Squad,
Bang the Down, DJ. Oh yeah,
you know
what I'm saying?
I remember all that, man.
Yeah, so
all that.
So you know what I'm saying, like that. I still live and die by that, because at the end of the day, like, a person like me who's not really into like social media like that, man, if I can make one phone call, hey Gino, I got this record. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a record. I had an idea to touch Drake.
Nice.
I called it, man. Jim, yo, all right, cool. Yeah.
That's how it works.
What he got it. Cool. Whether he used it or not, don't matter. It was the fact that I can actually do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the one thing that computers and all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
That's why I love it.
Well, we love you too, my brother. Thank you for pulling up on us, man. And yo, tonight, Ghost Bar, R&B.
And Bay.
Shout out to Gino. Shout out to Franzen. Shout out to the Bomb.
Everybody come out. Shout out to the whole family movement. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy out here.
Let's
Love
go.
y'all. Hey, and Raider Nation.
I'm a Niner fan, but
Still Raider Nation. We out.
Peace.
All right.